Focusing more on the implementation piece now, should firms be doing a test run of anything, and can they do a test run before the kind of big go live date?
Absolutely. So in fact, that's preferred. It is obviously, it costs more. So, but it's almost necessary if you want to get the right result. So realistically speaking, if we're doing the implementation, data migration, we're importing your data, or at least a big subset of your data. We're setting it up as close to live as possible, letting you test it, we call it user acceptance testing, where we get the solicitors to perform particular tasks, like open a matter, generate a costs agreement, record some timesheets, generate an invoice. That process is critical to be able to make sure that when you go live, you're not trying to fix it then. That being said, things do slip through the cracks and you do need to fix them, but it captures 90% of the issues. One of the difficulties that you obviously have, and sometimes where a lot of firms come to us, is because we're platform agnostic, because we migrate to most of these products and we know them very well, we have a lot more ability to set up your entire tech stack ready for testing and not have to deal with 5 or 6 different vendors that may or may not want that process to run. And obviously, and this is universal, is as you bring in multiple consultancies, multiple experts, the costs are substantial. When a migration is done, ultimately, it needs to be done quickly. So your pen's down on a Friday, on Monday you want staff to start using it. That process becomes exponentially more difficult the more people are involved. So,
yeah, I could imagine a stressful weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another thing that you've mentioned to me previously when we've been talking about implementation is don't be afraid to delay. How important is that to convey to everybody?
Yeah, so even when planning, especially if you're a 80 staff and you're picking up what you would call an enterprise system that's very flexible, you have particular milestones that you're tracking. Set a couple of dates. Have backup dates, because often, and this is sometimes unavoidable, is that you had a set of requirements that you initially understood. One of the partners decided there's now another requirement. So be comfortable turning around to the board and saying, hey, we're not going to go live by this. I know you had expectations, but it's going to be very risky, and constantly reflect on that risk. So have multiple dates and don't be afraid to delay. The way to stay to schedule is lock in what you need early on.